Hi guys, welcome back. We're doing another part of my declutter, and yeah, for eyeshadow. So we're on eyeshadows. This is number 3. Hopefully we'll only have one more after this because I got a lot of palettes, but I don't want to make these videos like super duper long. So I will say I'm obviously doing declutter and keep, but the keep category is gonna be like a subsection where I will have a number of palettes that I'm going to put in where I want to use and decide in like the next 6 months if I want to keep them or not. They're kind of like meh, maybe, I don't know. I want to give them a fair shot, but they're kind of like I'm not loving them. So there's kind of a subcategory, and my plan is in like 6 months or so to make a new video with those palettes to see if they got to stay or not. But you know how sometimes my plans don't always work out. But all right, now if I can get this open, we have this Lash Step. I got this from Ipsy in just their like regular glam bag. It's a full-size palette. It is an all matte like neutral palette. I thought it might be a cool companion piece, but I wasn't in love with the formula, and I have better mattes, so I'm going to declutter this one. Next up, we have one from Ofra. I think this is the Symphony. Yeah. So it's like a purple leaning neutralish palette, but it's really pretty, so I'm going to keep that one. Next up, we have the ABH Fall Romance palette. It's very pretty. The first look I did, I wasn't in love with. The second time I used it, I liked it a lot more, but I'm going to keep it. Next up is another for sure keep. This is the Haunted palette by Gourmand Girls. That's what it looks like. It's gorgeous. I love the formula, so that baby's staying. Next up, we have the Lunar Eclipse palette from Lunar Beauty. When I first got this and I played with it, I didn't love it, but I also feel like I have gotten better and maybe I'll appreciate it more. So this is kind of going in that the maybe baby section, but keeping for now. I'm running out of space. Next up, we have the Tiny Marvels palette. This is from Sydney Grace in collaboration with Mel Thompson. She was another influencer. She did pass away a few years ago, but very pretty palette. So that is a keep for sure. All right, next up we have the the Droplet of Magic palette from P. Louise that I got in their budget box. Oops. So it's got two sides. So it's got that side, and then it's got that side. I really enjoyed playing with it. It was my first time using P. Louise, and I was definitely going to keep that. Try not to make a mess. I know. Who am I? Not making a mess. Who would I even be? Alright, and then another Gourmand Girls. This is the Secret Grove that we got in the Ice Cream Beauty box. Very pretty, very fall. I really enjoyed it, so that's a keep. Next up, we have the Jurassic Park palette. Wait for it. Maybe. I better stop. I might get like copyrighted or something, but this is a fun palette. The formula is not super great, and I do hate that like a lot of the shimmers are in these little foot pad ones because it's hard to like get your finger in there, and I use my finger a lot for shimmers, but it's still like a cool display piece, and I'm one of those people that will keep stuff for display or because I like the packaging. So I know it's kind of stupid, but it's just makeup. It's not a big deal. This is the Pretty Chic palette from Colored Rain. This, I think I'm going to declutter. It's just not my color story. I do like their formula. Just, yeah, reds, bright pinks. I think this will go in the declutter. Next up we have, oh, this somehow got in here. This is a highlighting palette from Okalum. So that's what that looks like. I guess I'm going to keep it for now, but I will put that with my face palettes. Next up we have the Forest Heart palette with Salem Cosmetics, and I can't say her name, so I'm sorry, her. I had fun playing with that palette. I did get a broken shade right there. Yeah, I will keep that. It's not topple over. Okay. I don't want to break anything. Next up from Wicked Widow, we got the Edward Scissorhands 2 palette. So that's what that looks. Very, very pretty. Really enjoy that. That will be staying. Next up, we have the Rogue palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. Really pretty tealy blue purple, grungy. Love it. So much fun. I really like Fantasy Cosmetica. I have all their palettes except for I think it's the Fighter palette. It's kind of more neutral, so I've opted out. I might pick it up some other time, and then I don't have anything from their Lost Library collection. This is from Creature Cosmetics, Oh the Horror. I really wanted to love it. I really actually enjoyed the mattes, but there's 3 glitters and then just the 2 shimmers, and they just don't work well with what I want. So this will be decluttered. Alright, next up from Ruby May Cosmetics, we have the Pop Zombie. I really wanted this, but you know, I just wasn't in love with it, so this will be decluttered. And next up, this is an old one. This is the Artist Pro Remix. So this is like the colorful one. I got this for like 75% off at Ulta. So I only paid, I want to say like $12.75 for it. I did really enjoy it. I used it quite a few times, but I haven't used it in a long time, and I think I'm just going to let that go. And next up we have from Hip Dot, I forget what this is called, the C-Note. So it's pretty. I'm not in love with it, so I'm going to declutter it. There's a like reddish one that's similar to this that my sister has, and I asked her, I'm like, I have the blue one. Do you want it? But I forgot to give it to her, so I'm gonna see if she still wants it. But it is being decluttered. Next up, I have these 2 palettes. These just have my singles, so we already went through those. So just stuff getting in there that wasn't supposed to. Next up, we have the Iceland palette from BH Cosmetics. This is just a little quad. That's really weird. But I use this in my video for BMO, for like my dogs inspire my makeup. So it has a little bit of a sentimental value. So I'm probably going to keep it for now, just for that. See if I can get that sticker off there too. Okay, what's up? And these are in no particular order. You might see some similar brands together. That's just how I stored it, but I haven't rearranged in a while because I kept thinking I'm going to do my declutter, I'm going to do it. Finally doing it. But here's the Sorcerer palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. Another really pretty, really pretty palette. Blues, pinks, purples. I don't know if I might use that pink with that, but I don't know if I'll use that really more bright bubblegum pink, but I'm going to keep that one. And then next up we have the Bard palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. Beautiful, beautiful. Keeping that. Next up we have the Hollow Bean. This is a collab between Batty Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. I really enjoy that. The purples, the greens and the oranges, just gorgeous. Definitely keeping that one. And then next up, I think this is the last of the Fantasy Cosmetica ones. This is a Druid. This is the first one that they did, and just like that gorgeous grungy blue, green. I know my colors, guys. I swear I do. This one we're keeping. And then my other Batty Bean and Shroud. It's freaking Bats palette. This is my favorite of the two collabs. That Zero Shade is beautiful. The Apparition Handbook. It's Sam. It's all beautiful. I love it. Shout out to Allie Dawson. I saw her review that palette, and that's how I found Batty Bean. That's how I found Shroud Cosmetics. So very cool. I'm sure she needs my shout out. She has 40,000 more followers than me. And this is the last Shroud Cosmetics I have. This is Moonfall. Gorgeous color story, love it. So definitely keeping that one. Next up we have Aether Beauty. It's a really pretty, like, orangey neutral palette. I really enjoyed it. So we'll keep that for the time being. Next up we have the Fiery palette from Sigma. I am usually not a red girl, but these lean so, I don't know, orangey as far as fiery goes, so I like that. I like the look. I think I'll keep it for now. It is more of a neutral palette. I feel I have these colors, but I enjoy the formula, so I'm going to keep it for now. Alright, next up we have two from Odin's Eye. We have the Stone and Rock palette. Beautiful, beautiful, love it. And then we have the Jewels and Gems. If I can get it out of here. Gorgeous. I would say I like the Stone and Rock just a bit better, but still are both beautiful palettes. And I love them. I love most from Odin's Eye. So, alright. What do we got next? Oh gosh. Just a small, tiny avalanche, but we're alright. We're good. Next up from LYS is going to be Super Reflective. It's this little palette I got in Ipsy, BoxyCharm, whatever we call it. It's not really my color story. I was really excited to try it just because I like several products from LYS. I think the formula was like okay, so this will be decluttered. And next up we have the Hazy from Sigma. This is more purple leaning. It's really pretty. I really like it. So this will be a keep. This is the Extraordinaries from Rashabi Cosmetics in collaboration with Just Anne. And I like some, like this side, well, like this is okay. The Fire shade, I don't know if I'll use because I'm not a big red. This one is okay. So I'm going to keep this. It's a good formula, and I do want to play with it. I think I'm going to put this in my play with it a little bit more to figure out if I'm really going to use it. And next up we have from Beauty Moon Cosmetics. This was in collaboration with Ice Cream Beauty. I realize I've probably been crooked this whole time. I apologize. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. This is what you get when you get me. This was pretty. Not like my favorite color story, but I enjoyed it. I want to play with this a little bit more, so it's going to go in that kind of we'll see pile. Just because I feel like I need to give it some more love. I think I only used it once. We have another one from Sigma. This is the Ivy. This is a more green leaning. I enjoyed that, so it'll be a keep. Next we have from Uma Beauty. This is a Coming to America eyeshadow palette. I was really impressed. I found this at Marshall's, and I was really impressed with the quality. So I think that's where I got it. Queen to Be. So I really enjoyed it, so I'll definitely be keeping that one. Next up, this is from EJ Beauty. So beautiful color story, but there are some glitters that I don't love. I really wasn't in love with the formula. It wasn't like the worst. The shimmers and multi-chromes are very pretty. Maybe sweet, but it's got that bright pink, and that if you look at that matte, it's so patchy, and I felt that's how it was. I might try to depot this. I don't know if I can. I might give that a shot. So, but nonetheless, either way, whole or with a few pots missing, it will be decluttered. And next up we have this one from NYX. I only used it once, so I want to try to use it again to see how I feel about it. In the past, I haven't enjoyed NYX shadows, but I did enjoy the look I made with this one. So I'm gonna keep this in my, let's try it again and see how we feel, palette. Next up, this is Gourmand Girls with Cosmic Peaches. This is the virtual palette. This is really pretty. I enjoyed playing with it, so I would definitely keep that one. Next up, we have the Avocado Toast from BH. Really nice. But you know, I only used it once, so I'm gonna put it in the let's see how I really feel about it palette section, I guess. This is the Puerto Rico palette, also from BH. Very pretty, like yellow, orange, muted reddish browns. I enjoyed this. I will keep this one. Next up, we have the Aurora Struck from ColourPop. I'm going to keep this one. It's really pretty. I really enjoyed it. Even the pressed glitters worked well, which I'm usually like when I see a pressed glitter, but it wasn't too bad in this one. Okay. Next up we have from Moira. This is the Celestial Love. This is going to go in the let's try it and see how I feel in a little while section. Next up we have from KVD Beauty. This is the Moon Garden palette. I found this at Marshall's. I really didn't like this palette. I did not like the formula. I do enjoy the color story. It's not bad. Not groundbreaking, but the formula just didn't work very well in my opinion. So I'm going to declutter this one. Alright, next up we have the Wink Club Just Like Magic from ColourPop. I did enjoy this one. I will keep this. Okay. And then next up we have Blend Bunny Lure palette. This is a beautiful mermaid palette. I love it. So definitely keeping that one. Alright. Get over here, guys. Alright, we're getting there. Next up we have from Sarah Bean Botanicals this little nude palette, Dawn Light. I got this in my little Ipsy bag. This retails for like $32 or something ridiculous. It wasn't, I mean, it wasn't bad. But I have other ones that I like more, and yeah, so I'm going to declutter this one. Alright, what's next? We got a couple from Ofra. First up is this very neutral one. It says Getaway. I'm going to declutter this one. And this one is the Falling in Love palette that they did with Allie Dawson. So I am, of course, going to keep it. Just a beautiful fall color story. And I love Allie Dawson. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. So, yeah, definitely keeping that one. Okay. Just rearranging things a little bit so I don't, like, drop everything. Next up, we have this little quad of Duo Multi-Chromes from Delancey. I'm keeping this. It's really pretty. We have the Honest Hibiscus palette from Profusion. This actually wasn't too bad, but it's got the pressed glitter, And then it's got this really vibrant pink, which really isn't my favorite. So I'm going to declutter this one. And next up we have Dragon's Eye from What's Up Beauty. This is absolutely gorgeous. I really loved it. Beautiful. So definitely keeping that one. And then we have the Monsoon from What's Up Beauty. Another beautiful one. Keeping that one. We have from Moira, this is the Kiwi Befriends. I didn't enjoy this palette. I tried making it look like a sunset look with these 3 shades and they just kind of all muddled together. And then I used the more tealy green blue ones and that was better, but then it stained my eyes. So I'm going to declutter this one. Alright, next up we have the Hearth palette from Chantico Beauty. I think I only used it once. I did enjoy it. It was nice. I think I'm going to put this in like Let's Try It a little bit more and revisit and see how I feel in a while. Next up we have the ColourPop Cloud 9 palette. I really enjoyed this. Even though it's kind of like neutral leaning, it's a very cool tone. I don't have a palette like this, so I really liked it. I just wish like this, like one of these two, because they're very similar. One of them would have been a darker gray blue or something like that. So, but I still really enjoyed it and I will keep it. Oh, I lied. We got one more Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the Warlock. This is not their newest one, but the newest one I got. Once again, I really liked it. Even this red shade isn't too bad. Pairing it with this Eldritch shade, I liked how it came together. So it wasn't too red where it made me look like I was sick or dying or had been crying. So I'm going to keep that one. And then we got the ColourPop. It's a mood palette. I used this one twice. I'll say I didn't love it, didn't hate it. So I'm going to put it in the let's play with it and see how we feel in a few months time. Next up we got the Spooked from Gourmand Girls. This is definitely a keep. Very pretty. This was their Halloween release last year and I finally got it this year. And then we have from Wicked Widow Beauty, Graveyard Smash. Really like that. Fun little 8-pan. They did another 8-pan that was Alice in Wonderland inspired. I don't have it, but it is on my wish list. This came in Ice Cream Beauty, so I thought that was super cool. Keeping that one. Next up, we have the Colored Rain. This is the Safari Rain. This is just a really beautiful color story. Definitely keeping. Next up, we have Creatures of Forever from Rebel Rouge Labs. This is my first time using this brand. I did order another palette from them. I just haven't used it yet. I really enjoyed it. I made a video with it. It was really great quality, so definitely keeping. Next up we have this mini mix palette from Ofra. Pretty basic. I think I'm gonna put this in Let's Play With It again, or you know, I'm probably not going to use those eyeshadows. I'm going to declutter this and maybe keep like the highlighters and the blushes, especially this one. I don't know, I'm not sure about that one. So this will be decluttered, but probably not whole. Next up, we have another Uma Beauty. This is the Black Magic Carnival. Very pretty, really enjoyed it once again. Definitely keeping that one. Alrighty, almost there, guys. Well, for this video I got some more. This is the Odin's Eye with Angelica Trick or Treat palette. Really pretty greens, oranges, kind of brownie right there. Got my colors right that time, so keeping that. And then the companion, or not really companion, but like the other part of the collab, the Ghost palette, or Little Ghost palette really pretty. Doesn't necessarily scream Halloween with like the blues and purples, but I really enjoyed it. I made videos with both of these. And then we have the Rasha B Cosmetics Gold Digger palette. Not Gold Digger, Gold Digger. I like this color story. I really like the, especially the shimmer formula. I'm going to keep that one. And we have the Treloose Beauty, the I Am palette. I used it once and it was fine, but I don't think I'll keep it. Yeah, I think I will declutter this one. And then we have this Chi Chi Pastels and Dreams palette. So I've realized I'm not a big pastel girly, but I think I'm going to keep this in case I do want to do a pastel look. I did get a compliment on it one time. I think I only wore it once. Why is this wet? That is so weird. Anyway, I'm going to keep it. I think I'll put it in. Oh. No, I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to keep it. Okay. Next up, oh, why is this in here? This is the cheek palette from Pat McGrath Labs. I don't know why it's in my eyeshadows, because I don't know. Because I made a mistake putting stuff away, so just wanted to show that off. I'm fancy. I have Pat McGrath stuff. And then we have this one. This is the holiday palette from 2022, so it's like 2 years ago actually, but really a little over a year ago. I don't love it. I kept the other holiday palette because it was a gift. Like, it was fine, but for a big palette and for like the colorful shades, I'm probably gonna go somewhere else, and like all the shimmers are pretty basic, so I'm gonna declutter that one. And I think that's it for this video, guys. So let's see, 6, 44, and maybe doing some quick math. So we're 44 definitely keeping, 8 in the I'm going to try it out and check back in with you guys, which I thought I'd have a lot more, but so 52 keeps and 16 declutters. So not a whole lot of declutters, but hey, this is just going through and seeing what I like, and maybe it'll be different yesteryear. Next year maybe I'll be a little more ruthless, and maybe not. Maybe I'll keep keeping things because they have sentimental value, or because my husband gave them to me, that even if I'm not going to use. But so 52 keeps, 16 declutters. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will try to have the next video up here shortly with the last of the palettes. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below, send your friends. We have lots of fun here. And I really appreciate your time, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.